Raag. Now, Raag is a Hindi word. It means symphony.
That's right, and this restaurant is just that, a symphony of foods from different regions. This is Minnesota's first Indian dining fusion restaurant.
Ooh.
So owner Sohil Goorha is finding new ways that folks can enjoy Indian cuisine that's not only delicious but elegant too.
Okay, so tomorrow he's hosting this ticketed dinner. It's prepared by Chef Rosh. Now, she is a chopped champion, a Hell's Kitchen survivor, and she was on Beat Bobby Flay. She beat Bobby Flay on Beat Bobby Flay. Hello. So we heard about this event. You guys, welcome from our friend Stephanie March. She's the food and dining editor at MSP Magazine. She recently gave you a little write-up and said this is the event to go to, and sure enough, you sold out. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
No, thank you for having us. Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. So what inspired you guys to open the restaurant? Did you feel like there was a hole in the Minneapolis dining scene that needed this Indian fusion? What was the impetus for this?
I think you answered that exactly. So, the restaurant was in that spot for a while, and I took over the management and the ownership about 12 months ago. And one of the things which we wanted to do was rebuild the definition of Indian fusion fine dining. There is a lot of myths about Indian food, and especially in bigger cities like New York, San Francisco, DC, they are not. Because there are a few restaurants like that who are actually elevating Indian food, which can be as fancy as a steakhouse, and can be more flavorful versus just spices. So that is what we wanted to bring to Minnesota, and that's what Raag is all about. The word itself means symphony, so we are a symphony of food, where you can get lobsters, scallops, ribs, which are not traditional Indian, alongside butter chicken. So that's what Raag is.
All of the above. All of the above sounds good. Okay, so Chef Rosh, you're based in Texas, based in Houston.
Yes.
And then how did you guys connect about you coming up to Minnesota and helping out with this pop-up?
Sure, we have a common friend who's also a chef in the industry here in Minneapolis, introduced us last year, and it just took off from there, and we were communicating, built a menu, and I've been welcomed by the team, and it's been fantastic.
It's so cool. I love this trend of having chefs come and sort of like do a residency, like a mini residency at a restaurant, and kind of get to share, because I would assume that everybody learns something. Like, I bet you're learning from the team here, 100%. Just like they're learning from you.
It's a great experience, and it's a way that chefs can network, connect, and share. Even though, okay, my background's Indian, Sohail's is Indian, his chef's is Indian, we're different.
India's quite a large country, friends.
Right, 1.6 billion and growing, right? So we're able to bring different styles of Indian cuisine in a pop-up, and that's really what offers to the city, right? So Minneapolis gets to try something that they might not try that's different than butter chicken. So I'm very happy to be here.
There's no shame in the butter chicken game.
No, not at all. So as we're introducing you, you have a great list of like really high accomplishments when it comes to food and some of these food competitions. Real quickly, like how was it like being on Chopped and all these other great shows?
It's great. I mean, for me as a chef, it's always a learning experience. It keeps me on my toes, and I compete against myself. And that's the main thing. I still have it, 20 years in the industry, and these competitions allow me to do that and sort of stay fresh and stay in the industry. So always a great experience.
You go on Beat Bobby Flay, and you beat Bobby Flay with this very dish that you're putting out, that you have sitting for us. First of all, this is a gorgeous plate of food.
Thank you.
What is it, and what was the reaction on the show?
Sure. So I always wanted to bring my cuisine to mainstream, and I am Sindhi, which is a very small culture in India and outside of India, and I wanted to put that on the plate. So you have what's called a Nawabi kebab. Nawabi mean made for royalty and special occasions. So
well, of course, yes, of course, us.
So
That is very kind.
It is minced chicken, marinated, and then skewered and wrapped around minced lamb.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
And you have a cilantro mint chutney on the bottom, some papadum, and some pickled vegetables. And both, if you take a bite together and then you take a bite separately of the different meats, you really see the different marinations.
That is so cool.
The cilantro on the bottom, I think.
So that chutney.
That sounds
How
so
good did
fresh.
it feel when they said you beat Bobby Flay?
The winning thing for me was bringing my culture to mainstream TV.
Yeah.
And that for me is the biggest prize that I could take home. So it's an honor.
Because you essentially, I mean, what you're doing though, you're taking people on a trip. I mean, you're letting them take a journey without having to spend thousands of dollars on a plane ticket and not know where to go. I mean, this is the next best thing.
Correct.
And that's so cool that you're doing that.
Thank you. And I mean, tomorrow it's called a journey. Our menu tomorrow it's called a journey through sin. And it's that food is a journey, not a destination. So you keep going from there.
So if people are unaware of what really Indian food is and Indian fusion food is, you mentioned that it sometimes can be a little bit intimidating. So like, as a beginner first timer that's going to go into the restaurant, like what sort of things would you point them in the direction of ordering?
So if you look at our menu, the way we build our menu like a journey, like you said, right? So we always say tease yourself with some classic dishes, wherein you have the butter chicken. Now, butter chicken, while you say, Rosh, is the most common dish around the world.
Yeah.
And there's so many versions of it. It's available in every restaurant, every country. What we have done is taken some of those factors and put in some roasted bell pepper, which brings in the Italian fusion flavor versus traditional tomato-based cream sauce. So that's the fusion element wherein my chef, shout out to her, Chef Romilla, she's also trained in some of the best Michelin restaurants in France. So she's bringing those experiences at Raag in creating new dishes.
I feel like samosas are something that can't be missed when you go to, I mean, you just have to try them. And in New York, there's like samosa trucks everywhere, so
They
you
are,
just get them.
they are the street food, and we call them our empanadas of, street food. And what we do is we do a spin version of a minced lamb, which is traditionally potato-based. So
Yeah.
that's kind of another one. And the last one I think we can talk about is my version of a trundukan. So we introduced this in our menu about a year ago, and it's a grilled chicken breast stuffed with minced chicken. So it's literally a trundukan. And a lot of people who are my regulars love that dish.
Oh my gosh! Well, everything is plated so beautifully.
Looks beautiful.
Look at the menu. Everything's sounds so beautiful, and congratulations to you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So the event tomorrow night is sold out.
That means she's got to come back and do another one.
She's got to come back.
I just committed her.
I'll do one right here.
She said yes. She said yes. It's
Can't
on
go
tape.
back now.
But to stay up to date on the next event like this, follow Raag on Facebook and check out their website.